If you know me and you know my content at all, I am not a fan of slice of life. I'm not a fan of cute girls doing cute things. I am not a fan of moe shows. And I think moe. Hello, my weebs and gamers. Let me tell you what I've been doing this past week. Basically catching up on everything that I've wanted to catch up on in this past year so that I can make my best of anime 2022 list, which is coming out in January. But before that, I thought it would be fun just to talk about this recent fall season. Now that it's almost basically over, I think this fall season was definitely the strongest season of anime we had this year. So what I thought it'd be fun to do to start off with is just to make a tier list of all the anime that I watched in fall 2022 and give my opinions on it. I think the biggest difference between this year and last year in terms of anime is that last year we had a lot of new exciting anime. We had a lot of anime originals. We had a lot of new franchises coming out. And I feel like this was the year for the really, really hard-hitting sequels and the big franchise sequels. But we are starting with Akiba Maid Wars. Now, if you don't know about Akiba Maid Wars, it's made by PA Works, and it's kind of like a homage to like Yakuza movies, except it's done with maids in Akihabara. How's it? That's it. S tier? S tier? Everyone's shooting for S tier. My honest opinion about Akiba Maid Wars, PA Works has made two really out there anime this year. First was Akiba Maid Wars, and second was your boy Kongming. Both had like really, really weird ass concepts and weird ass things going on in it. I'm going to say I preferred Peripikome like more than Akiba Maid Wars. I think the middle of Akiba Maid Wars kind of dragged on, because one of the big things is that I really enjoyed like the first two episodes, and then it kind of lost its charm. The big difference for me with Akiba Maid Wars and your boy Kongming, Peripikome had like the music aspect to it, which is what I've really enjoyed, and seeing the progression of this singer becoming popular. Akiba Maid Wars didn't have something throughout its entire run that really like hooked me. I liked the more serious storyline at the end, but at the end of the day, after the first two episodes, I just didn't find it that funny. That's just a me. So I'm gonna give this one a B tier. I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. I feel like with some wacky premises, if it doesn't do something interesting outside of that wacky premise, then I'm going to get a little bit bored of it unless there's something else that hooks me. So I'm gonna give it a B tier. It's still a good show. Arknights. As we all know, my fellow gacha gamers, gacha games are now getting anime adaptations. We've seen the Genshin adaptations. We've had some very bad gacha adaptations in the past. The only good ones I could think of were basically all Fate Go. Arknights wasn't bad. I came in thinking that this was going to fucking suck. And I think it was my low expectations coming into it that made Arknights a bit more surprising for me. It was way better than what I thought it was going to be, because this adapted what I think is the worst part of the story in Arknights. Because let's be honest, most people skipped the beginning few chapters of the Arknight story because it was cliche as hell. The animation was better than what I thought it was going to be. They handled the story better than what I thought it was going to be. So I kind of enjoyed Arknights. I don't know. Maybe that's just my fucking gacha game, and maybe like gacha has just broken my game. Maybe gacha has just broken my mind. I enjoy this more than I thought I would. Would I recommend this to anyone who has not played Arknights? Hell no. Would I even recommend this to people who casually are into Arknights? Probably not. Connor was really into Arknights. He was way more into Arknights than me, and I still would not recommend this to him. I want to rate this a C, but I think in terms of enjoyment, it's a low B for me. I'm gonna go B for broke, because that's what Arknights made us all. I'm a gacha degenerate. I'm broke as fuck. It's going in B. I think this one is Beast Tamers. Yeah, this one's an easy C. Like, when people talk about mid, this is the definition of mid. Bibliophile Princess. I'll be honest, I also was unimpressed by this one. This one kind of like failed to grab me. I don't know if I'm just not the target audience for this, or if it was just a bad adaptation. It just felt like discount bookworm. Didn't really enjoy it that much, and I don't know if it's the adaptation's fault or if it's the source material, because I am not familiar with the source material. but this also goes into the C tier. Now, we get to the first big show, Bleach. How do we feel about Bleach, guys? How do we feel about Bleach? Do you know what this re-release of Bleach made me realize? Holy shit, Bleach fans are dedicated as fuck, man. I did not realize that Bleach fans were this dedicated to their cause. Is it just me, where before this new Bleach anime came out, everyone loved to fucking dunk on Bleach, but then finally, when this came out, everyone, Bleach was like suddenly cool again. Like Bleach was suddenly peak. I did not realize it was the top #1 ranked anime on Mal. Yo, what the f? We've beaten the Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood fans. At what cost? I've always been very vocal about my criticisms on Bleach. There's a lot about Bleach that I feel dropped the ball midway through the Rankar arc, and the Fullbringer arc I thought was pretty bad. But I remember reading the manga of the 1000-Year Blood War arc, and I remember thinking, damn, like the beginning of this, it goes hard. It was the latter half of this arc where I really feel like this arc of Bleach started to falter. Having said that, this anime goes fucking hard, and I forgot how hard Bleach could go. I think this is one of the best animated shows Studio Pierrot have done. Every episode has had like S tier animation. Holy f***, I did not know that they were capable of this consistent high quality. It's fucking insane. The soundtrack is insane as well. I mean, the soundtrack of Bleach is something cannot be criticized. Bleach soundtrack goes fucking hard, okay? It's always gone hard. Holy shit. This has just reminded me just like how fucking cool Bleach is in general. It's got so much style. It's just got that fucking drip. Bleach has more style than everyone. The character design still go fucking hard. I think this season at the moment is going insane as hell. I'm going to give it a high A tier. It's not S yet, just because I want to see how it handles the second half of this arc. If it's able to fix some of the issues I had with the manga going into the second half of this arc, then it'll be an S tier. Anime original ending, copium. I'm coping, man. I'm fucking coping. Moving on though, Blue Lock. I've always wanted a football anime. We've had football animes before, but I've never found a football anime that I've really enjoyed. I thought for the longest time that part of the reason for that was because in comparison to like basketball anime or something, like a football team just has too many players that you need to give attention to. I was proved absolutely wrong this year because we had not one great football anime this year. We had 2 great football anime this year. Blue Lock puts away like realistic settings and just gives you pure undistilled football fucking hype. I enjoyed Blue Lock so much. I'm a footy fan. It's an A tier as well. Before you fucking come off and kill me, it's not as good as Bleach, okay? Don't worry. I'm putting Bleach at a high A, okay, guys? Blue Lock is just so much fucking fun. I love the fact that they did away with the typical sports anime structure of, oh guys, let's go to national, guys. Oh yeah, let's win with the power of friendship. Oh, we're going to nationals. No, what I like is they specifically said, we are going to win the World Cup, and this is how we're going to win the World Cup. And let's just put all of this setting in a tournament arc. Why did more sports anime not do this? And what I liked is it explores an aspect of sports that not many other sports anime explore, which is this idea of having to be selfish. Most of the top strikers need to have a certain amount of selfishness to them. Otherwise, they wouldn't shine as brightly as they do. Chainsaw Man. I'd be lying if I put it anywhere but S tier.
But Giga, you put it above Bleach! No! Oh my god! I can't believe Giga put it above Bleach!
Yes, I enjoyed Chainsaw Man more than Bleach. So fucking sue me, okay? This is why I can't fucking talk about shonen now that I'm on every Bleach fan's hit list. Yeah, this is just a preference thing. I think I enjoyed Chainsaw Man more than Bleach, and I just enjoyed Chainsaw Man a ton anyway. But something like Chainsaw Man, it's still early days, right? It's still early days. I don't think Chainsaw Man is nearly reached its peak at all. It's like a low S tier. It's not like a high S tier. It's a low S tier. The reason is it's a low S tier is that we're literally like just beginning. But with what we've been shown so far, I compare the beginning of Chainsaw Man to like the first 12 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen. I compare it to the first 12 episodes of My Hero Academia and some of the other hype shonens. And it has burst onto the scene, in my opinion, a lot faster than previous shonens. Had an impossible amount of hype to meet. Did it meet the hype? Of course it wasn't. It was never going to meet that hype with just 12 episodes. Chainsaw Man immediately blew up. It had a pretty good attempt at meeting that hype. I think the first 8 episodes of Chainsaw Man were pretty formulaic shonen. And then there's a big fucking turn, and I feel like at that turn is where we truly saw the type of story this was going to become. The action was fucking insane. I think Mappa knocked it out of the park. I think that the complaints about CG was overblown. Bleach fans, I'll give you a W. I think the action scenes in Bleach are better, but I feel like almost every aspect of Chainsaw Man just looks gorgeous. Having read what's been adapted so far and having watched the anime, both take this story that's been written and both use their medium to the fullest potential. Tatsuki Fujimoto is a f***ing genius for using paneling the way he does. He does a lot of things in the Chainsaw Man manga which I feel can't be replicated in the anime. But then the anime doesn't replicate them. The anime goes its own path and it tries to do its own thing without missing the big story beats of the core story. And it uses anime to its full potential, in my opinion. That's Chainsaw Man. It is a S-tier production in pretty much every way possible. It's insane that it has like 12 different fucking ending songs. What the hell? Moving on, B, Do It Yourself. We got another slice of life show. This one is a slice of life show that a bunch of girls who do it themselves. Something about this just fucking appealed to me, and I don't know what it is. This show appealed to my dad energy because I don't normally like slice of life shows at all, but I really enjoyed seeing cute girls. Normally, I don't like cute girls doing cute things, so this one surprised me a lot. Maybe I'm just reaching that age where seeing people do woodwork and homemade stuff was just very, very calming. One thing that I've really enjoyed about this, I really like the art style, because if something looks too moe, it kind of puts me off. This one felt a bit more like Eizouken. Not exactly Eizouken, but it was more that kind of direction. And I feel like that was one of the big selling points for me, because I've seen too many like overly moe character designs. If they had looked like that, I probably would have enjoyed this way less than I would have. All right, moving on. Eminence in the Shadows. Yeah, we got our first isekai, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna go full isekai trash man for a second. Fucking love this show. It's so much fun. It's so unapologetic with what it is. Would I say this is a good show? Honestly, I don't know. Isekai has rotted my brain so much, I genuinely can't tell if this is like a good show or if I'm just enjoying it too much. It's a show that's so unapologetic with what it is and what it's about. It's everything that I love in an isekai. Oh my fucking god. For those of you who haven't seen it, every time the main protagonist speaks English, it is a fucking S-tier scene. There's a very fine line between cringe and cool. And every time the main protagonist speaks English, it fucking strides that line. But it cracks me up every time. There's two scenes. One where he says, "I need more power." It just, remembering that scene just cracked me up so much. But the GOAT scene, the real fucking S-tier scene, is the I am atomic scene. If you're not watching isekai, you're not gonna fucking watch this. Okay, I'm just gonna fucking tell you what the scene's about. I was telling this to Sydney, okay, because I needed to tell someone about this. He realized he could be the top martial artist of all time, but he could still, if an atomic bomb dropped in Japan, there's nothing he could do. He felt the limits to humanity. So then he gets reincarnated to a fantasy world and he gets isekai. And then he, you know, it's a world where magic exists. I can't even describe the scene without cracking up. And so he realizes that in this fantasy world, he can now become more powerful. He has magic, okay? He can become the entity that he dreamed of becoming. The answer to him to defeat the atomic bomb is for him to become an atomic bomb himself. It's so fucking stupid, but it's amazing. This is a B tier. Probably an A tier if I went for enjoyment, but it's... All right, moving on. We have the Berserk movie TV edit. I haven't actually watched this one, but I have seen all of the movies, which I think is the same thing, right? I'm gonna talk about this as if it is the Berserk movies. I really liked the Berserk Golden Age arc adaptation. My big problem with the Berserk adaptations was that it did not have enough time with the characters themselves. I think the Eclipse was done better in the movies than it was the TV series. Everything before that I thought was better in the original Berserk TV series. If I were to rate the movies, I would also put it at like B tier level. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it and I haven't heard anyone really talk about it, so that's why I didn't really go out my way to watch it. But if it's based on the Golden Age arc adaptations that the movies did, then yeah, it's around a B tier. Is it as good as the manga? Hell no, it's not. Is it even as good as the original TV series? I would not agree. I think the TV series did Berserk well enough. Golden Kamuy Season 4, haven't seen. This one, haven't seen. All right, let's just go to what I want to talk about. Mob Psycho Season 3. I remember when Mob 3 was announced, I remember saying this previously, but I couldn't see really where the story was gonna go. And I remember saying that I didn't see a necessity in Mob Psycho Season 3 at all. And I think I was partially right. Mob Psycho Season 3 to me felt like a 12 episode long epilogue. I don't think it eclipsed Season 2. I think Season 2 is fucking peak. I think it's fucking incredible. Do I think it's necessary? Yes, I think it's necessary. Watching Mob Season 3, I don't think it necessarily needed to be 12 episodes. In the same way that I don't think a lot of Season 3 to me felt like fluff. There are some really, really good moments in Season 3, but was it as full and action-packed as Season 2? No, it wasn't at all. But what I will say is that the moments that did go hard and the moments that did hit proved why Mob Psycho is one of the greatest anime of all time, in my opinion. I'm very happy to eat my words and say I was wrong when I say Season 3 was not needed. Season 3 was definitely needed. I couldn't think of a more perfect way to end Mob Psycho. It's been so long since I've seen a show close itself off so perfectly. Mob Psycho is an easy S tier for me. Like Chainsaw Man, Mob Psycho had an S tier production through and through. I can't begin to say how rare that is. This is the adaptation that manga dream of. Moving on, Fufuijo. I think this one's a very, very solid show. I'm gonna put this at B tier. It's a solid romance. I don't know if my mind's just been f***ing poisoned because I see a nice solid romance and I'm like, we need something spicy up. Come on, guys, come on. Can't just have a nice vanilla romance. Get the f out of here. Get out of here. It's got a little bit of spice because the premise revolves around Japan having a school where they have like mock marriages and, you know, you have to like pretend to be a fucking married couple and stuff like that. It has the potential to improve in later seasons as we get more of the story. But right now, it's a solid show. I'll give it like a solid B. Just give me more spice. Where's the not related by blood little sister character, guys? I'm joking. I'm joking. Moving on. My Hero Academia Season 6. Anyone watching My Hero Academia Season 6? I dropped My Hero Academia like halfway through Season 5, and then I didn't watch My Hero Academia for a very, very long time. I am now completely caught up to My Hero Academia Season 6. It is the best that My Hero Academia has been in a very long time. It's a low A. The recent arc is the best that it's been in a very, very long time. And this is coming from someone who fell out of love with My Hero Academia. Anyone who stopped watching My Hero Academia, I totally get it because I did the same thing. The reason I picked it back up was that I heard from manga readers that this next arc was going to go hard. In a sense, they were right. This is the best that it's been for a very, very long time. Having said that, if this is My Hero Academia at its peak, to me, watching this arc made me realize how much better other shonen shows are doing right now. I will say it's gotten to a point this season felt like everyone was involved. Absolutely everyone. It wasn't just the characters in the high school where everyone in the hero organization got involved. It was kind of like the build up of all of the previous seasons. All of the villains had their character build up and everything like that. One thing that bothered me a bit was how OP they made Shigaraki. They made him like stupidly OP. I really enjoyed his backstory. And I feel like for the longest time since the event with All Might and All for One, it felt like My Hero Academia was missing a big villain, and then Shigaraki had to step up to the plate to be that big villain. He went from just being a normal villain to a really stupidly OP villain overnight, it felt like. This season, it felt like it was a culmination of all the previous seasons. Felt like the best My Hero Academia has been in a long time, but still felt like a step below what other shows are doing. And I don't know what more it can do. I just think it's a step below. They have put ample time into the characters. At this moment, Deku is just the most uninteresting protagonist. I feel less and less invested in Deku the more seasons go on. It's funny because this season, I'm like, I kind of like Bakugo more. Why is he not the fucking protagonist, man? I'm still gonna keep watching My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia to me has become my modern Bleach, where I complain about it every time, but like Bleach, I'm going to stick with it till the end. I'm way too deep in. Moving on. Oh, this one. These are all just like mid-show. Pop Team Epic. Pop Team Epic, again, it's a solid show. Pop Team Epic is just it's a solid show at this point. I never go out of my way to watch Pop Team Epic. Pop Team Epic's the kind of show I watch when I'm eating something and I just need to put something on in the background. It's a solid show, gives me laughs. To me, I don't like it that much. It's just a solid show for me. Japanese Family Guy? Is that a praise or is that an insult? I don't know. All right, moving on. Ravens of the Inner Palace. I put this up B tier or A tier? I'm gonna put this at B tier. I think this is a really, really underrated show. Personally, it didn't appeal to me too much on like a personal enjoyment level, which is why I'm putting it at the B tier. But I think it's a highly, highly underrated show. One thing that didn't really grab me was that the fact that it had like the time period it takes place in doesn't really interest me too much. It's like kind of like a court drama kind of thing. I was going to say this kind of show would really appeal to my mum. My mum's soap operas were like the old historical Chinese soap operas. All right, moving on. Reincarnated as a sword. This one is a low B tier for me. I actually didn't enjoy this one as much as I thought I would. I think because I enjoyed Eminence in the Shadow so much, it brought my enjoyment of Reincarnated as a Sword down for me. It's on the higher level of the isekai tier list if you compare it to like the generic, here's your generic isekai of the season. It's better than that. Would I go out my way to recommend this to everyone? No, but it's an enjoyable watch. All it's missing is if there's a scene where the sword turns into an atomic bomb, then I'll be interested again. Then I'll be like, okay, you have my attention. No atomic bomb? What's the point? Does he speak really bad English? No, he doesn't. Rene flops. How much do we rate the culture in this one, guys? This one was a flop. It's D tier for me. It feels like to me, ecchi shows have gotten to a point where basic ass ecchi just doesn't do it anymore. What the f am I saying? Oh my god. You know, if you're gonna give me like a vanilla ecchi, with some of the shit that anime is produced now, it just doesn't stand out much anymore. I think Studio Passion have just completely broken the ecchi genre for me. How can any other ecchi series compete? Studio Passion literally made this? Oh shit, I forgot that they made this. Moving on then. Shinobi no Itoki. I really wanted to like this. I remember saying that the first two episodes just seemed like a lot of fun, and then it didn't really continue that train for me. It was like so stupid, right? Because everyone's getting mad at the protagonist for doing like stupid shit and stuff like that, and because he was like secretly part of a ninja clan and everyone was like trying to assassinate him and everything like that. But I'm just like, why the f would you be part of a secret ninja clan and you not try to train your fucking son or have them go to ninja school to begin with? Is it a D tier? No, it's better than some of these other shows. It was a bit more fun. I'll put it at like a C tier. Moving on, Spy Family. I would put Spy Family in... Spy Family for me is an A tier. There's never been a point where Spy Family has like fucking blown me away. Spy Family is always just consistently awesome. If I'm having a bad day, if I'm feeling bad, I just put on an episode of Spy X Family. It's nice, it's wholesome. I come out of every episode feeling fucking good about myself. I feel good, I feel wholesome. It maintains that level of consistency throughout its entire run, in my opinion. I gotta give it praise for that, because I was afraid that I was going to get bored of Spy X Family. They managed to make it never feel stale. I don't have too much to say about it other than it's just a really good show. If you need a dose of wholesomeness in your life, if you just need to fucking smile and feel happy, just watch Spy X Family, man. Moving on to the last few. Talking about Netflix killing off shows, JoJo Part 6. Now, who has watched JoJo Part 6, or who's forgotten that JoJo Part 6 is out? JoJo Part 6, to me, is... It's A tier. Now that I've caught up with JoJo Part 6, is it my favorite JoJo part? No, it is not. I would say that part 5 is still my favorite JoJo part. Now that I've seen all of the anime, by the way, I'm not a manga reader. I'm purely anime only. Part 5 gets the consistency, but if I had to say where I think peak JoJo is, it's the latter half of part 4. I heard a lot about part 7. Part 5 it's just JoJo. It's good. The ending was interesting. I'd heard snippets about the ending of part 6, and it really felt like the ending of part 6 was kind of like a farewell to JoJo in a sense, right? Without spoiling what happened. It felt like something new is going to be around the corner now. It makes me very, very excited for what happens in part 7. It kind of feels like it might be taking a new kind of avenue or something, or it might be taking a new route. I don't know. I think Pochi was a very, very interesting villain. I just think there are other more interesting villains in JoJo. Oh, sorry, not Pucci. I don't know why I said Pochi. I really, really enjoyed Jolyne as a character. I thought this season had some really, really interesting stands. I could tell Araki was going off the fucking balls with some of these ideas, with some of these stand battles, man. What I will say, now that part 6 was over, I didn't see anything that was more OP than Gold Experience Requiem. What the fuck was he doing during all of part 6, man? JoJo part 6, well worth a watch. Oh, I forgot to mention, once again, I fucking love what David Production does with the opening every time there's like a major plot event. Somewhere in part 6, they mix up the opening. I fucking love it every time I do that. I'm not gonna spoil when. You need to watch the opening if you watch JoJo part 6. Let me just say, the ending song of the final episode was just, oh, man. Woo! That hit, man. God, that hit so hard. Only a few shows left. To Your Eternity, Season 2. Season 1 of To Your Eternity was incredible, as one of the strongest opening episodes of anime I've seen. Like, if you watch that opening episode of To Your Eternity and you don't feel anything, I would think that you're a robot or something. It hits fucking hard. Season 2 of To Your Eternity has been a disappointment so far. It's not a bad show. Season 1 emotionally hit super, super fucking hard. I shed like tears several times during like many points of season 1. I haven't really felt much during season 2. I felt like a little bit sad, but it's definitely not been nearly as emotional as season 1 was. Moving on. Would I say Yatsura? My enjoyment, yeah, it's a high B. I'm enjoying this a lot as well. I think they're doing a really, really good job remaking this. If you want to look at an old anime and you want a case study about how to remake it, I think this one should definitely be on your list, because I really like how they've modernized the style while still making it feel like a very good classic anime. Obviously, there's going to be tropes that's going to be a little bit cliche and stuff like that, because it is a very, very old anime, and you see that with Urusei Yatsura. This is like kind of like the birthplace of waifu culture in general. I think Lam is not only like the first waifu, but also the first tsundere as well. There are some things that feel a little bit dated, but it still feels very enjoyable. All right, Bocchi the Rock. If you know me and you know my content at all, I am not a fan of slice of life. I'm not a fan of cute girls doing cute things. I am not a fan of moe shows. And I think Bocchi the Rock has been my biggest surprise in anime all year. I did not expect to come into this show liking it. I didn't even expect to come into this show really finding it entertaining at all. I thought I would get another case where it's a K-On! Show. I think that Bocchi the Rock is possibly the best slice of life show I've ever seen. This has been the biggest plot twist of the year for me. I did not expect to like Bocchi the Rock as much as I did. The one show to me that really convinced me what is magical about the medium of animation wasn't Chainsaw Man, wasn't Mob Psycho, it was Bocchi. And the reason for that is the way they use animation to convey some of these feelings is just, it hits you in a way that can't be conveyed in any other way but animation. Part of the reason I love it so much, we've seen a lot of aspects of like Bocchi the Rock before. We've had shows about introverts, you know, we've had like Komi-san, we've had like Aharen, we've literally had a show called like Hitori Bocchi, I think. They've all tackled like similar aspects of like someone with a like crippling social anxiety. Every time I see Bocchi have like this her own like anxiety episode, and the way that they use animation to convey what she's going through, it relates on you to a personal level, is so relatable, it actually is kind of painful painful, you know? One thing I really enjoyed is that they're f***ing giving a shit about the music as well. The music is actually really f***ing good in this show. I'm absolutely gonna get hate for this. Bocce the Rock is everything I wanted K-On! To be. Everything that I didn't like about K-On! Was because everything I was looking for was in Bocce the Rock. And I'm not saying that they're the same show. I'm not at all. Everything that I wanted to be in K-On! Just happened to be in Bocce the Rock. Because they're two different shows, in my opinion. I never, ever, ever thought I would put a slice of life show on the S tier. But I'm glad that Bocce the Rock's there. Bocce the Rock is an S tier, guys. Do you know what scares me the most? If a slice of life show needs to be this good in order for me to like it, I'm just never gonna like another slice of life show in my life. That's how high they've set the bar for me here. Last show, Gundam The Witch from Mercury. This is the Gundam I've been waiting for. So far, it's f***ing delivering. I'm enjoying Gundam The Witch from Mercury so much. And right now, I'm not gonna speak too soon. I'm going to put it at A tier. Depending on how the rest of the show develops, it could jump up into S tier, you know, depending on how the second half goes. Right now, it's definitely like a solid A tier. It's been so long since I've been as excited for Mecha as Gundam The Witch from Mercury has made me. I'm gonna say it again, it's just nice seeing 2D mechs. It's brought me back into when I first got into anime and stuff like that. Because like the last mecha show that I was really excited about was 86. I like the writing for 86, but something about the 3D spiders it just doesn't hit the same as seeing 2D Gundams again, you know? I'm gonna hold off my opinion on Gundam The Witch from Mercury before I've seen all of it. But please, if you're a new anime fan and you didn't grow up in the same era as like me, watching Gurren Lagann, Code Geass, Gundam 00 or Gundam Wing or something like that, if you've never seen a Gundam in my life, please watch Gundam The Witch from Mercury. This should be the Gundam that gets new fans into Gundam. I've been a bit disappointed actually with how many people are watching it, because I look at the list on my anime list and it's so f***ing low down. Please, more people watch it. It's a really good show. But that has been my tier list for the top anime in fall 2022. Did you agree with it? Did you disagree with it? Are you a Bleach fan? Please, I need to know your opinion in the comment section. Can't wait for all the salt. Anyway, that's it from me today. I've been Gigguk, and I'll see you all next time.